So the story of how Andrea and I met, well, it's a good story, so settle in. We met on a program called Joe's Club. It was actually an experiment started by J-Date, which I had spent way too long on. And when J-Date called and said, please join our Joe's Club, they said, come in, we'll interview you. They interviewed me for a couple of hours, wanting to know everything I was looking for in a woman. So after that, they basically would tell us to meet at a restaurant on a Thursday night for a dinner of 6 like-minded people, 3 men and 3 women. And they would meet us there, and the host of Joe's Club would introduce us, they'd tell us the rules, and then they would leave and we would all get to know each other. Well, my first time was a disaster, because when I showed up to dinner, no one was remotely in my reference group. So when I called them the next day to tell them I was quitting, the manager called me back and begged me not to leave the program. She said, give us one more chance, please. I know you invested your time. So she said she had another dinner set up for that Thursday night, and the girls were going to be amazing, and I would love them, they would love me, and I'd have a really good time.
Which then I got a call saying, Andrea, I have an emergency. I have a dinner this Thursday night. There are going to be 4 boys, and I only have 3 girls. Can you please show up? I said, okay, I enjoyed the first dinner I went on. Might as well try it again.
And when I arrived, we were still being introduced. We were still waiting for one more person. And I looked around, and the women were beautiful, except Andrea's eyes just sprang out. I mean, she was sitting at the end of this booth while we were being introduced, and I just remember looking at her thinking, wow, she is gorgeous. I wish she was old enough to date. So, because I mean, she really looked like she was like 20 years old. After they introduced us, they escorted us to a table for 8. Now remember, this is usually supposed to be a table for 6. So now Andrea was seated across from me, and I was seated next to these 2 beautiful women. And before long, I realized the 2 women on either side of me were not going to cut it, a little bit nuts. And they were vying for my attention, so I couldn't really hear what Andrea was saying across from me. At some point, I did realize through me shouting across to her or listening to parts of her conversations that she wasn't quite as young as I thought she was.
Wow. You're stunning.
You didn't hear anything from me because I had one guy not saying a word and another guy who wouldn't stop talking to me.
That's true. I did feel bad for you. I tried to save you. And
Wait. I have to say that all night I wanted to say something to Richard, and I had no clue what to say. I'm not good at talking to guys. It took me all night to come up with, I like your necklace. So after we got out to valet, I walked up to him and said, hi, I really like your necklace. And he turned around and said, thanks, and walked away.
So the thing you didn't know is that the valet guy was honking the horn of my car, and so I had to get it out of there. And also in my mind, I knew that I was going to be talking to you the next day. So
yeah, but it didn't make me feel good there.
I'm sorry, my love. Well, I'm glad it worked out. Basically, she was leaving the next day for Spain to go dance for like 10 days. And I said, well, when you get back, I'll be in Chicago filming. So why don't we get together when I get back, which is about 3 or 4 weeks from that time.
And I said, sure, give me a call. And I never thought he would call because guys in LA just don't call you.
So I guess it was a good sign that I actually was true to my word. So we made a plan to meet at 3rd Street Promenade, and now I don't drink coffee, never had a cup in my life, so I couldn't go meet for coffee like most other people. So of course we met for ice cream.
You were so excited to introduce me to lychee sorbet.
Well, rightly so. I mean, I wish there was more lychee sorbet in this world. We were having such great conversation that I said, do you want to
Go see a movie.
Go
and
see
I
a
said,
movie.
yeah, but we have a lot of time before that movie.
That's
And
right.
you said, okay, let's go to dinner. So I thought, awesome. This went from ice cream to a nice walk to dinner and a movie.
הרי את מקודשת לי בטבעת זו כדעת משה וישראל.
אני דודי ודודי לי.
And then we went to go see this steamy hot movie with Antonio Banderas. It was a dancing movie, which I thought would be appropriate because Andrea's a dancer. What was it again? Do you remember?
Shall we dance?
Shall We Dance? We were walking back to her car, and we got to the corner of 4th and Wilshire. And she was talking to me, and I realized she just wanted to kiss me, so I just kissed her.
That is not true.
You totally did.
That is not true. I
Anyway.
was walking back contemplating, I think he deserves another date. This was fun. I had fun, enjoyable conversation. You know.
And I was thinking, okay, she's really wonderful, but is she just a friend or is she more than that? So I kissed her on the corner of 4th and Wilshire. And the thing I remember being so impressed about that kiss is she definitely kissed like no one else was watching. Because there were definitely people walking by, and some people, if you kiss in public, they just get a little bit self-conscious. And Andrea was not. She was an amazing kisser.
Well, you knocked my socks off with that kiss.
And so we went there and we basically made out all night.
We did not. We had the best conversations.
What are you talking about? We made out all night.
Richard, you gave me this whole deep lecture on how marriage is like your hand. It's connected to you.
That is true. That's
you don't
right.
just chop it off.
You don't
if
just
things
chop
are
it
getting
off
hard.
if you don't like the look of it, or if it starts to get wrinkly and old, or if you heard it and it doesn't work the way it used to.
I walked out of there thinking, boy, he is so deep. I loved our conversation.
That is how we met. And after that, we basically saw each other non-stop. Andrea lived in Huntington Beach, so it was quite a long-distance relationship. But she would land up coming up to LA. I'd go down to Huntington Beach. And it took a long time.
Very long time. We were celebrating my birthday, but it was after my birthday.
Well, I didn't want to say I love you unless I meant it. And I knew that at that stage of my life, if I was saying I love you to someone, it basically, in my mind, almost was like a proposal. Not that you knew that. But
yes,
that's
I
why
did.
I had to
you
be
explained
sure.
it to me
Did I?
all the time.
You are a truly radiant human being, both inside and out. The purity and selflessness of who you are raises the bar of the person I want to be. Unlike most men, I see marriage, our marriage, as a liberation from the shackles of wandering and loneliness. I'm finally a free man, and you are my liberator. And swear to always put your well-being and happiness before my own.
I love you so much.
I love you more.
Never.
Always.